Isn't it crazy that a film titled Fresh is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes? Super cheesy, I understand. I wonder when the expiration date exists for this. Yeah, I know I'm pretty sinful for that. Let's get to the review. Welcome back, film fans. It is Brad from Let's Be Real with Brad. Today on the channel, I want to talk about the newest comedy horror film to hit Hulu this past weekend called Fresh. Mimi Cave directs Fresh in her directorial debut, and it stars Daisy Edgar Jones and Sebastian Stan in the lead role. This film is about the horrors of modern dating seen through one young woman's defiant battle to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites. Fresh is a film that I have been particularly enthusiastic about ever since its debut at the Sundance Film Festival back in January, receiving lots of excellent reviews. I was thrilled when I received my screening of the film. I had to sign a waiver form stating that I had to be the sole individual to watch it and make certain no one else was around to see it. Very official. So now that I finally watched the film and took too long to get this review out, I have to say that Fresh was a pleasant surprise. Fresh is the type of film that blows any expectations you may have going in because it takes a very sadistic and terrifying story and mixes it with a comedic aspect that I felt caught off guard watching. At first, I was very turned off by it as I felt like it didn't fit the film all that well, but as the film went along, the tone felt like it perfectly wove itself into the story and themes of the film, which made it much more enjoyable to watch. It is the type of film you have seen before with a real mainstream horror story that leads to the criticisms I have, but I think it works for this kind of film because it is a character-driven film with our two leads played by Daisy Edgar Jones and Sebastian Stan. We focus on these two for most of the runtime as we get a very in-depth look at who these characters are, which made me much more engaged in the story. The performances are pretty excellent as both actors were the perfect choices for these characters. The film's most vital element lies within the horror, as the entire concept of this film is very dark and very disgusting. I am thrilled I didn't eat any popcorn or candy for this film because I don't think I could have handled it. But the exhilarating part about it is how Mimi Cave shoots the film, as we don't see the genuinely horrifying points as most of these are implied. She frames noteworthy wide shots that added considerable personality and depth to the film. At points, I saw this as a chilling and bizarre film, but then at other moments I noticed this to be remarkably sanitized, as I wish we could have witnessed more of the dreadful moments because it would have been vastly more compelling and unnerving. I don't expect it to go overboard like a Saw film, but at least make it repulsive and frightening, so then the comedy can balance it out a bit similar to American Psycho. I adore how the film influenced me into enjoying Sebastian Stan's character and how he exists as such a magnet social guy even when he announces his plans. His psychotic persona is deemed natural because of his charismatic personality. The film's finest point is when the film's title merges onto the screen. It was quite unanticipated as it arrived onto the screen in the considerable badass manner that sets the film's mood in the best way possible. The technical elements of the film, like the cinematography and the editing, are assertive as it looks and feels like a professional film. The editing is smooth as the shots string together coherently, making the film feel seamless. Furthermore, I found the score noteworthy as it adds to the thrilling scenes, particularly toward the third act, that offered me the exact burst it needs. It isn't the most astonishing score out there, but reliable for this sort of film. Unfortunately, this film contains occasional negatives beginning with the third act. While the third act contains some fierce, violent moments that are pretty jarring to observe, it is likewise beyond irritating because there are so many aggravating points when the film could have ended quicker if a character had made such a significant decision. It felt as though the filmmakers were trying to make the third act longer to have more exciting thrill sequences, which I can respect, but not at the service of portraying your characters and making them the most mindless human beings on the planet. While this film checks off all the boxes a basic thriller ought to, it runs precisely the path you assume it is proceeding to go. I presumed every twist without speculating it because what would happen was so obvious. Overall, Fresh is a delightful comedy thriller film that features terrific performances from its lead cast, a hilarious and refreshed originality to a story, and a speedy pace that causes this film to feel like a cakewalk to get through. I would advise checking this film out, as I would assume most audiences would enjoy this one. I am giving Fresh a 7 out of 10. Thank you all so much for checking out this review, as I want to know below in the comment section, have you seen this film? And if you have, what did you think of it? I would love to hear about it. Before you check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like if you want to, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following review.